Welcome to Horror Stories. I'm Ankar Pundit, and on this channel, I bring you real-life paranormal incidents and experiences, shared by those close to us. This story I'm about to share is true incident, based on the real experiences of people like you. These individuals faced intense challenges and are now sharing their tales to help others steer clear of similar dangers. By learning from their real-life mistakes, you can avoid costly pitfalls and protect yourself from similar fates. It is a story from 2024, when Gadu told me that he used to go to Reena ma'am's house for tuition. Yes, Reena ma'am, who was from a very good family, with a nature so pure and innocent. She was a beauty, and every day, someone or the other would propose to her, try to talk to her. But Reena ma'am was not one to be easily swayed. She was a strong-willed girl, who valued her self-respect above all. And then, one day, a boy from her friend's circle proposed to her in the most disgusting way possible. He got down on his knees in front of the whole college and started putting a ring on her finger. Reena ma'am was so humiliated that she slapped him right there, in front of everyone, and then, she went home and told her parents everything. If anything happens to me, don't blame me, because I didn't accept anyone. Reena ma'am was so confident, so full of life. But little did she know, her fate had other plans. The boy who had proposed to her didn't take no for an answer. He started stalking her, following her everywhere. And then, one night, Reena ma'am got a project from college, and she told her parents that she would be studying late. You people sleep, I'll study. But what happened that night, Gadu confirmed to me later. It's a story that will send chills down your spine. That night, Reena was working on her project when she suddenly felt the need to use the washroom. It was around 12 a.m., and she got up to go to the washroom, which was located outside the house, in a separate area. As she was walking back to her room, she saw a white ball lying on the ground. And suddenly, the ball flew up and hit her on the mouth, and she sat down on the spot, feeling dizzy. She got up, went back to her room, and tried to study, but she couldn't focus. She felt a sense of unease, as if something was watching her. The next day, she went to college, but she was still feeling disturbed. When she came back home, Gadu told me that Akshay had a pet dog, a Pomeranian named Julie. Whenever Reena came home, the dog would stare at her, as if it was trying to tell her something. The dog's behavior was strange, and Reena's parents and Gadu were worried. They tried to calm the dog down, but it wouldn't stop staring at Reena. And then, one day, the dog disappeared. The family was shocked, and they didn't know what to do. They thought that maybe the dog had eaten something bad, or maybe it had gotten stuck somewhere. But little did they know, this was just the beginning of a series of strange events. Reena's brother decided to bring home a new pet, a Labrador. But 3 to 4 days later, the new pet also disappeared. The family was in shock, and they didn't know what was happening. The plants in their garden started to wither away, and strange noises started coming from the house. Reena's behavior started to change, she became irritable and started to distance herself from everyone. She made a decision that day, that she would not allow any new pets in the house. Because every time they brought a new pet home, it would disappear, and she couldn't take it anymore. 2 to 4 months passed, and Reena tried to stabilize herself, but the strange events continued. And then, the time came for Reena's first marriage proposal. The family started to look for a suitable groom, but Reena was not interested. She had seen something that had changed her forever. And now, she was determined to uncover the truth. The boy who had come to see Reena announced that he wanted to marry her. Reena's parents were overjoyed, but little did they know that this was just the beginning of a series of strange events. The boy who had proposed to Reena died in an accident just 3 days later. Reena's parents were shocked, and they didn't know what to do. They thought that maybe Reena was cursed, and that's why all the boys who came to see her were meeting with such tragic ends. 2 months passed, and another proposal came for Reena. But this time, the boy who came to see her was different. He was well settled, handsome, and intelligent, but Reena's parents were still worried, and they didn't know what to do. One night, Gadu saw Reena's father smoking on the roof, and then, he saw Reena standing on the roof, staring at her father. Gadu was shocked, and he didn't know what to do. Reena's father was smoking, and Reena was staring at him, as if she was possessed. Suddenly, Reena's father fell off the roof, and Gadu was left shaken. He didn't know what to do, and he was too scared to tell anyone. But Reena's parents were worried, and they didn't know what to do. They took Reena to a saint in their village, who told them that Reena was possessed by an evil spirit. The saint told them that they had to perform a ritual to rid Reena of the evil spirit. But Reena's parents were skeptical, and they didn't know what to do. They decided to take Reena to the saint's ashram, but on the way, their car's tires kept getting punctured. The driver was worried, and he didn't know what to do. They finally reached the ashram, but Reena was still possessed. The saint performed the ritual, and Reena was finally rid of the evil spirit. But the question remains, what happened to Reena after that? Did she finally find peace, or was she still haunted by the evil spirit? The story ends here, but the horror continues. The next day, the driver got his car fixed and fled the village. The ritual was performed, and Reena was finally rid of the evil spirit. But the question remains, what happened to Reena after that? Did she finally find peace, or was she still haunted by the evil spirit? It was later revealed that the boy who had proposed to Reena was the same one who had been haunting her. He had been possessed by an evil spirit, and Reena slapping him had only made things worse. The family was shocked, and they didn't know what to do. Reena's parents were worried, and they didn't know what to do. They thought that maybe Reena was cursed, and that's why all the boys who came to see her were meeting with such tragic ends. But Reena was finally stable, and she started taking tuition classes again. The children who came to her classes would ask her what had happened, and Reena would tell them about her personal experiences. She would tell them about the black shadow that would follow her, and how she would feel compelled to do its bidding. Reena would tell them about how she would see the shadow, and how it would grow bigger and more menacing when she tried to resist it. She would tell them about how she would feel scared, and how she would eventually surrender to its will. But Reena was finally free from the evil spirit's grasp, and she was living a normal life. She was married, and she had a child. But the moral of the story is that you should always be careful of the people around you. You never know what their intentions are, and you never know what might happen. So, always be cautious, and always keep your distance from people who might have bad intentions. And if you have any paranormal experiences, don't hesitate to share them with us. We'll be waiting for your comments. And we'll be motivated by your stories. Learning from the story. The story of Reena is a chilling reminder of the importance of being cautious and vigilant in our daily lives. It teaches us that we should always be mindful of the people around us, and never take anyone's intentions for granted. We should always trust our instincts and avoid getting too close to people who might have bad intentions. Moreover, the story highlights the importance of seeking help and support when we need it. Reena's family could have avoided the tragic events that unfolded if they had sought help from a saint or a spiritual guru earlier. It's essential to recognize the signs of paranormal activity and seek help before it's too late. Precautions to avoid such incidents. Here are some precautions that we can take to avoid such incidents. 1. Trust your instincts. If you feel uncomfortable or uneasy around someone, trust your instincts and keep a safe distance. 2. Be cautious of strangers. Avoid getting too close to strangers, especially if they seem overly interested in your life or affairs. 3. Seek help when needed. If you experience any paranormal activity or feel like you're being haunted, seek help from a spiritual guru or a saint. 4. Keep your distance. Maintain a safe distance from people who might have bad intentions. Don't let them get too close to you or your family. 5. Be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings and keep an eye out for any suspicious activity. 6. Don't ignore the signs. If you notice any signs of paranormal activity, such as strange noises or movements, don't ignore them. Seek help immediately. 7. Stay vigilant. Always stay vigilant and be prepared for any eventuality. By following these precautions, we can avoid such incidents and keep ourselves and our loved ones safe from harm. Finally, before leaving, I request you all to please support my channel, subscribe Horror Stories and turn on the bell notification so you get the latest video updates first. Stay tuned to the channel until the next video. Thank you all.